symbol because it's all there on social media. Our stuff wasn't on social media, so y'all much more exposed.
Speaking of
And
that,
that's the scary part. Like I seen some kids, they got busted in Brooklyn, and they had all their texts, and they're reading them on the news.
damn.
But I know that those kids were born with cell phones. They didn't
Mhm.
even come from a generation. I came from, there was no cell phone. So when cell phones happened, we was like, oh, this the feds. Don't say nothing on cell phones. We kind of just, that was inbred in us.
Mhm.
These kids are texting about a drill.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So to have that level, to be that violent and to be that lost at the same time, right, is scary. So take the time to listen. Anything that you want to be proficient in, listen, right? If you want to be a boxer, right, you can't just study Javante Davis. You got to study Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Joe Louis, Sugar Ray Leonard, Deontay. You got to go all the way down the list of the line, right? If you want to be the greatest gangster, listen to some older gangsters. I'm not an old gangster. I'm not promoting that.
Yeah.
But you know some that have some sense. They own a community center in your hood. They got a non-for-profit now. They're going to schools and speaking at the colleges. Those type of guys, right? They're doing different things. Go and talk to them. Go read. Go read about the success rate of this particular endeavor that you're taking on, right? You're going to sell bricks and you and your mans is going to spin and do drills. Great. Check out the success rate of it, though. How many people are successful? Now, how many people are successful in staying out the way and opening the laundromat? How many unsuccessful laundromats are there, right? So pick your battle.
Mhm.
That's all we trying to say. Well, that's all I'm trying to say to a lot of young brothers. Pick your battle. Pick wisely. I think you should know how to defend yourself. I think you should not allow people to do the wrong thing to you. I think you should be unified in a group, but do it for the right thing.
You think New York gang culture is ever gonna go back to its original purpose? Like again, I'm gonna always go back to your book. You mentioned the Zulu Nation, the 5%ers, the Latin Kings originally were staples of the community to protect the community. Now all the new gangs just want clout and want to beef with each other. Do you think it's ever gonna go back or revert back to that purpose? And if so, how?
I hope so. I don't know.
Do you know where
But then again, yeah, one step at a time.
you know where
One
we
step
lost
at a
our
time.
way? Like where did it go from? Yo, we here to protect our community to
I
we just
think
gonna shoot each other.
whenever we start oppressing each other, and those were things I seen in Rikers Island in the 90s, which I wasn't in Rikers Island a lot, but what I saw was that you had black men oppressing other black men, and they say hurt people, right? So when you take a group of men that outside in regular society, there's no room for strong black men, black masculinity, right? You'll see that in the workplace. You'll see that in the schools. You'll see that. You don't see a lot of strong, upright brothers getting corporate jobs. That's by design. So you'll take a group of guys, a group of people who don't have any authority in society. They don't choose where their art form goes. They don't choose how their community is represented, right? They don't choose anything. And you put them in a room, what are they going to do? They're going to seek to assert dominance over each other to feel better about themselves. Because when I look at you, I see my reflection and I already hate my reflection, right? So when we get to a point where we can be more vulnerable with each other, and that becomes a job for men like us, right? Because not everybody can talk to every type of individual. So there's a reason why they got me at the school in the Bronx. you know what I'm saying? As opposed to the schools in Queens. So we have to reach out to them. You know what I'm saying? And you got to have some type of empathy for your brother. And it does sound a little cliche. It does. But I truly believe that, right? Because I see it happen every day. Like that's how I live. And that's what I do. And that's what a lot of the respect I have in my community, in my neighborhood, it's from being that way and always being authentic, sitting in my authenticity, right? And I think if more of us are like that, I think it'll spread. Because even with the idea of with Kendrick and Drake, as much as the rap battle is cool, but it's the symbolism, right? It's the symbolism that at the core, people want that consciousness, people want that content, people want that authenticity.
Something deep rooted in our
Yeah,
culture.
something that's deep, something you can really chew on. And I think if we stay with that standard, things will change. And the reason why I think they'll change is because they have to. You know, when you look at the world and everybody's aware of what's going on, you can't avoid it, right? Planes falling out the sky, you know, like this is the first time in our lifetime we're really talking about UFOs. You really think that people will have the audacity to not unite? You know, I can't believe that for
That
our
would be
people.
crazy.
I think that
For us to still hate each other and there's extraterrestrial life out there trying to get rid of us,
that's
that'd be
nuts.
crazy.
That's nuts. And just as much as there's that, there's every type of proof that we are the original people. And that so many things started with us. So at this point, if you choose to be on that side, you kind of made a choice already. So
Number 3.
number 3 was
You did 1 and 2. You have a third one. The top 3 issues that top 3 things
top
that need
3
to be
issues.
addressed.
One was fear. Remind me of 2.
Self-sufficiency.
Self-sufficiency. Yeah, and I think 3 is information. I think that
Access to information or the willingness to actually
the
go
willingness to execute, like get on top of information and execute. Like I know so many young people that don't know about AI technology, that don't know about investing, that don't know about what's to come. And I think that we need to be more free with information, and we need to execute on information more.
Got you. What borough are you from?
Harlem, Queens.
Harlem, Queens.
Yeah,
What
Harlem,
place is that?
Queens. I was born in Harlem,
Okay.
and then I moved out to Queens like in my 20s.
Got
So
you.
all right, I always say that Harlem raised me, but Queens made me,
Got you.
because I did a lot of stuff in Queens.
That's how I feel with Jersey
Yeah.
and Queens.
A lot of entrepreneurial stuff too, positive entrepreneurial stuff in Queens, and that community really built me up as a entrepreneur. So
Why would you? Because it seems as though Queens is a very overlooked borough. So why do you think that is?
Overlooked in what sense? We the biggest borough. Got the most wealthiest people. We get the
I
money.
know that. I know Queens is the best. I'm talking about
but
the people who
you
live
mean
outside of
overlooked
Queens.
within rap culture?
I would say within New York.
I mean, we got some of the biggest rappers. You know, see, I said we, like I just abandoned Harlem. I'm sorry, Harlem don't beat me up.
Yeah, for real. They take that serious. They take that real serious.
Shout out to Harlem.
To me, Harlem and Queens is so similar. I always felt like Queens and Harlem is similar, and Brooklyn and the Bronx is similar.
That's funny.
It's true though.
It's usually the other way around.
Yeah, because people from the Bronx say, Brooklyn dirty. People from Brooklyn say the Bronx dirty. So it's
But
just funny.
nobody says anybody from Queens and Harlem is dirty.
They know better.
That's very true. And I try to emphasize
Harlem
that.
got some fly people,
And
bro.
when I try to make the point that Queens is the best, they just kind of just.
You know what it is? Like Queens and Harlem, man. Yeah, they snake each other too much.
Like against each other?
Snake each other too much. Like Queens dudes, they snake each other too much. And I know a lot of people is not gonna like what I said, but it's true. It's true. We snake each other too much.
Like, as in like backstabbing?
Well, yeah, I mean, well, all right, just look at our rapper kill rate. It's messed up, but the amount of rappers from Queens that got shot by somebody from Queens. It's like our community, man. Like we got let people get out. Let them get out. Let them make it. You know what I'm saying? And some stuff, like for sleeping with the same girl, like certain things, it's like crazy, right? So that's an aspect of Queens that I always.
Would you say there was ever a point where Queens was unified?
Yeah, when Nas dropped after the bridge is over.
Nas. I mean, I see different individuals doing stuff like that. Like I try to do it in my own way. I know my man JL shot that. Y'all gotta get him up here. I gotta help
JL
y'all
shot
get him
that?
up. Yeah. He does like a lot of videos for a lot of popular artists right now. He used
Okay.
to work with Pop and he worked with 5E all the time. But he's like a dope. He's a really good dude. Now he be trying to unify Queens with a lot of his projects and stuff like that. So
Was there ever a point you felt like the black community was the most unified or unified completely?
Before integration.
yeah, I would say that. I would say before integration.
Which was before your time, no?
Yeah, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. But like economically, we were better. We were in a better space,
Black schools, black communities,
and we
black
had a lot of
restaurants,
we
black
had
everything.
like a lot of black communities that
Because we were forced to.
yeah.
You couldn't integrate.
Mm-hmm.
So are you a proponent of segregation then?
Nah,
At this point in history, nah.
I just think that we could do it on our own, and if we take the time to do it on our own, we'll be respected differently. There's some people say, well, yo, if we did it on our own, they would take it from us. Then I would say yes, but die an honorable death and go to heaven. You definitely don't want to die on your knees or in captivity.
That's why people are scared of death. They're not right with God. They're not right spiritually. That's why they're so scared to die.
Yeah.
What do you think is the first step in trying to do it on our own?
I have to say, I mean, what everyone is doing now. What everyone is doing now. And I don't think that it's I don't think it's a podcast conversation. Like seriously, like but control your resources any way that you can. Control your resources. If you can control your food source, right? That's a great start. These are all things that I've just been researching. But controlling your own resources is a big deal. You can't expect the person. You can't expect the person that's feeding you, educating your child, to have any mercy for you. Convenience is slavery, right?
Damn. Word.
New York is the most convenient city in the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why a lot of people never leave.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And it has the most strictest gun laws. You can't protect
And the
yourself.
most expensive city.
Strict gun laws.
Yeah.
Car registration rules.
No female trees. There's no female trees.
Yeah, a whole bunch of
female
pollen busting on your face every spring.
Yeah. Female.
That's what it's doing.
Pause. Isn't that when y'all say pause?
Yeah.
Okay, pause.
Yeah.
That's literally what's happening though.
Yeah.
Where pollen come from? Trees is
I
like
know,
this for you,
man.
bro.
There's so many other ways to describe that, though.
But yeah, there's no female trees. So there's no freedom, right? You can't just go out and pick a meal. They want you to think, oh, you can't get no food. All we need is some female trees. So why is it so restricted, right? So it's like we really have to get our own. Our own land, our own food source, our own water. It's that serious. If you want to be respected, right?
Now, you mentioned how at times, being a black nerd is not going to be as accepted in the black community as it should be. But through your writing, how would you say that the black community as a whole has been receptive to your work?
Oh yeah, I was just talking about like growing up as a kid. Like get once I got older, it just got easier. Because I think that I speak for our community and it's authentic. Like when you go on my Instagram page, if I'm not selling books or doing something that has to do with the film project, then I'm doing something where I'm working with young people, working with the community, teaching black kids. I have students from the sixth, 7th, and 8th grade. I also have some high school students too, and everything I'm teaching them is unconventional stuff like entrepreneurship and mentorship. So, and then before that, it was the younger brothers on the block. So there's a lot of young men in his age group that have a positive story about me. And even when I was on the block doing my thing, I was never the guy that like like kick the younger dude in the ass or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was always like the one that's like, yo, you been out here all night. You know, you need a cup of coffee or something. You know, you need a bagel. You've been out here all night, man. Yo, get yourself together. Like, you know, like I was always that person. So a lot of those people who 10, 20 years ago they were young dudes, now they're older, they're men, and they're doing stuff, and they still kind of have that admiration for me in the community. So just moving a certain way.
So, do you think they've been receptive enough to want to follow your path more so than the path of, an artist or a drug dealer?
There's a pocket of people that I think see the glory in this particular path, you know, but I think that more people want to be like social media influencers.
Mm-hmm.
I see that too a lot in our community, but I just try to lead by example, bro. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I just try to lead by example, and when it comes to like higher frequency information and spirituality and stuff like that, I think that people have symptoms, and if someone has a symptom that they want to learn and they want that type of knowledge, I think when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Mm.
So
Got you. And if you were to start all over, what would you do differently?
nothing. I probably would have went on social media more when I was selling books in the street. I think I missed a lot of viral moments.
Mm.
That's the only thing I would have did different. I would have utilized social media in the time when I was more outside every single day.
And you wouldn't change anything because your story helped build you into who you are.
Oh yeah, for sure. Everything I've been through made me the man I am today. So
Got you. That's beautiful, man. What would you want your legacy to be?
it have to be about showing someone that can turn pain into light, and being able to change your circumstances and inspiring people. I really love to inspire people. I noticed that. It's like my biggest joy, and it's one of my greatest talents is to inspire people.
That's dope. Word. You inspire me. Shit, tell you that much. Gangster.
That's what's up. Yeah, I inspire him because he's not talking reckless, yo.
What you mean?
He be talking crazy on y'all show, man. I be seeing him.
What, on this show?
Yeah.
What I say crazy on this show?
Nah, when you was like, yo, I'm the, what you said? I'm the,
Don't mind him.
You ain't no mommy. I'm lying. Stop me. I'm telling the truth. You can't tell I'm talking reckless. Come on.
no, I just mess with you.
Man.
But I'm proud of y'all. This show is like, I like what y'all doing, man. I like what y'all doing, your questions, everything, you know. And when I saw this brother in the gym, man, when he was younger, I was like, yo, he gonna be great. I didn't know what it was. He had the glow. You know, he had the glow.
He had the
man.
aura.
Yeah, man, he had that aura about him, man. He was disciplined. Like he was always coming through. So, and then when I saw you in the park the other day, it was, it was good to see you, man.
Yeah, likewise. Full circle moment.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a time machine and you could be a part of any moment in Black history, what would it be?
I don't know if I could have saved Big.
Because next,
I'm thinking he about to say
something deep. No,
about to say some Egyptian shit.
Big, yo.
I'm thinking he about to say some Egyptian shit.
Want to meet Harriet?
Want to see the pharaohs or some shit? Say Biggie. Shout out to Biggie. Shout out to Biggie. Oh man, next weekend is his weekend. March 9th.
Yep.
Shout out him. How would you have done that?
Huh?
How would you have saved him?
Tell him not get in the car.
Yeah, man, just make sure he ain't go.
Don't go to
man.
Cali.
Make sure
Stay
he
on the
didn't
East
go.
Coast.
Figure out a way to make him not go.
Got you.
That would be a dope show, though. I was talking to my wife about that, right? Like, If we had a series where it was like a dude that time traveled, but he just time traveled to mad different times in Black history.
That'd be tough.
That would be
You know what I'm
that would
saying?
be dope.
Yo, get off the balcony. The
Martin.
get off the balcony. Hey, yo. I don't know.
Tell Pop get on the driver's side.
Yeah.
That actually would be dope.
That'd be interesting, huh?
Yeah. Have you ever considered writing a children's book?
I have
He
one.
does.
I have one. I have a children's book with my son. So we're working on a series. My son is autistic on the spectrum, but he's a really brilliant kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote a book because some people asked me to write a children's book before,
Mm-hmm.
and I never wanted to do it because I didn't want to hustle it. Right? I don't like to sell things I don't believe in. So I wasn't inspired to write a children's book. So I was like, why would I do it? But once me and my son started going through the process, and I learned a lot of patience with him. And then he used to have therapists come to the house to help him read and help him move his hands a certain way. And I had to take on that role during the pandemic because the therapists couldn't come to the house.
Mm-hmm.
So once I took on that role, I took a lot of the things that I saw them do and I incorporated it with what I already had and my style of teaching and stuff like that. And we came up with our own method. So we wrote a book about it together, has my whole family in the book. And it's a dope piece. At the back of the book, there's like work that you could do too, like word puzzles and
That's
stuff
dope.
like that. And we spoke at the library 2 times already. We'll be back at Merrick Library in April. So yeah, we're doing that because that's Autism Awareness Month as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he's also looking to partner with some different brands for Autism Awareness Month. Autism Speaks featured him on their page.
That's
That's
dope.
dope.
So yeah, and you know he be signing his books and all that at the book and he's reading them off and stuff like that. So yeah, that's dope. So yeah, children's book is dope.
What do you think has been some of the largest difficulties dealing with an autistic child, if any?
Yeah. I mean, just patience and love. You know, a lot of people be kind of like ashamed of their
Mhm.
kid. Don't bring them around. You know,
Mhm.
keep them in the house. But I bring him outside. Like I take him outside. You know, if I'm in the park exercising, he'll be in the park with me. You know, if I go to an event, I'll take him to an event with me. Like, you just gotta let him live life, yo. It's a different. It's called they're neurodivergent, right?
Mhm.
So neurologically, they receive things different, and a lot of times, some of them get overstimulated, some of them get understimulated, right? So
Mm.
overstimulation is, you know, you see that light, that green light moving up and down,
Mhm.
that might just disturb him. Like he has to make that light stop, right? Like or that buzzing sound in the background. All these different modes of stimuli, those lights, they're like hypersensitive to it.
Mhm.
So some of them are like that. So you just gotta know that. You know, I do a lot of sound therapy with them too. So sometimes we play 432 megahertz frequency. It helps to heal and calm the mind. There's different sound frequencies that tune into different aspects of your mind. And just having a lot of patience and encouraging him. And, you know, a lot of autistic kids have psychic abilities, right? They sense the aura, the energy in the room. So if you can be of like pure peace when you're around them, they'll kind of reflect that peace,
Mm.
you know? So, but I got a wild concept on life. So
Mhm.
for me, it's not that difficult. So for other people, they go through it. But you know, God gives you
Mhm.
assignments, right? So I knew that God equipped me with the ability to be a great father for him and to get him where he needs to be. And God gave me him so that I could be more patient, so I could be more understanding, you know?
And what have been the biggest lessons that you've learned about patience? Because that's something I'm trying to incorporate in my life. Is some patience.
Is that you can't you can't make decisions for other people. You can only be you. And uh being true to who you are at all times is the most important thing, right? So
Mhm.
so if you're a man of honor and integrity, you don't lose that honor and integrity for somebody else, right? You stick to your honor and your integrity. So it's kind of like the same thing. Be patient with people. Everybody is not you.
Mm.
right? But don't be patient to the point of being stupid.
That's a fine line.
Mm-hmm. But then you trust people to be who they are, right? So if you know that somebody's a gossiper, then you just give them the news you want them to spread.
Yeah, word.
If you know
Use them
somebody's a
motherfuckers.
thief, you put them in your enemy's house. You don't bring them to your house. You
This is a
bring them
fact.
to your enemy's house, right?
Right.
And you just
Move
juggle it
accordingly.
just like that. Yep. And when you know somebody's solid and they loyal, you reward them for no reason. To always keep them, you know. That's the friend you holler at, like, yo, you ate? Yo, nah, hey, yo, come eat. Because that person is just solid. Oh my God. One of the best things you could do is help a solid person on the come up. How you think I'm on this show?
Right.
I'm on this show for being good to a solid person on the come up.
That's
So
dope.
now he got a show now. It's, oh, you know what? Yo, OG, you want to? Naturally. Because it was an investment when I said, yo, that kid got the glow. Those are investments for me. So remember that, right? OGs, don't hate. Just say, yo, you know what? Be good to young boy because you don't know,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Respect. Appreciate you daily.
Mm-hmm.
You spoke a lot about black masculinity earlier. Would you say that black men in general are masculine, or is that something that they need to work on?
We need to work on it because a lot of times I think that being able to beat somebody up and having a certain level of bravado, I think a lot of people think that that's masculinity, but taking care of your responsibilities, you know, like how good of a father are you? How good of a husband are you? How good of a brother are you? Right? How good of a friend are you? Those are all aspects of masculinity, accepting accountability, right? And accepting accountability is not all about street stuff. You know, accepting accountability is, yo, bro, yo, I told you to write this many questions. You only wrote this many questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, now I told you to look at the website. Oh, well, I ain't look at the website. My fault. Next time I'll make sure to step up on that, you know? It's as opposed to, nah, son, I don't gotta look at no website. That's feminine. But see, we'll get caught and think that that's masculine because he's rejecting the process. He's bucking the system. Nah, you being a girl, bro, because we got a show in like 10 minutes and we can't afford to make them kind of mistakes. So accept what I said to you. Let's not do it. Let's not have that problem again moving forward. And let's get on with the show because homie going to be upstairs in a couple of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Anything other than that is feminine. It's straying away from the purpose.
So what exactly about that moment is feminine? I agree with you, but I think a lot of people will see like, well, I'm just defending myself, or your delivery was too harsh, and I'm trying to
not accepting accountability. And the delivery being harsh is also based on the stakes, right? So like if we in a football game, right, and you're playing football, you never hear them say hut, hut. They go hut, hut. They start talking to each other like that, aggressive, right?
Mhm.
If you look at a war movie and they're in war, bullets is flying over their head, you know, don't say, yo, JB, duck, right? JB, duck the fuck, right? Because we're at war. This podcast means that much to me, right? That we at war. Yo, bro, where you at? Yo, what time you? Yeah, because if you was like on the block with me selling books, or if you come into a program and I'm about to talk to some young kids, I got to get there before they enter the classroom. I got to be prepared because there could be one young man in this room whose life depends on what I'm about to say. And he got to know I value him. I value him enough to be here before he enters the room. Right? So everything is that intense because how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? You know somebody that always comes to the park late.
Shit.
Doesn't give it his all.
Oh, God.
It reflects in the rest of his life.
Right.
Right? So it's the same thing. So you can't get emotional about how your partner is saying something to you as long as they're giving you constructive criticism. You know, there's another thing. There's not, when it's not camouflaged hate. We all know what camouflaged hate is. You know what I'm saying? Yo, there you go with them red sweats. How you be always, you all colorful. That's camouflaged hate. You know what I'm saying? That's camouflaged hate. That wasn't camouflaged hate from me.
Nah, yeah, I just those are comments I hear often.
But
So
yeah,
it's funny.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but no. See, I'm just chose to match because I knew I was being around some young dudes. I actually go crazy with the colors, so I know where you're coming from. I'm the same type of person. Like I don't, and it's not about price for me. It's about like how rare is it? How much nobody don't have it. So
Same.
I know I see that in you. You know what I'm saying? And I applaud it. That's dope. But we have to get back to what was I saying? You know, you come on. You know, you see the grades, man. You know, I was trying to get through the whole joint without one of those.
You lost me after you made the comments on the pens.
Camouflage hate the delivery.
Yeah, well, don't get caught up in somebody's delivery. Basically, if they're on your side, don't get caught up in their delivery. Accept the role. Sometimes, you know, I would be the coach and you the player, and then other times you be the coach and I'm the player, and we accept those interchangeable roles. Because look, he's behind the camera, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe both of you guys ain't as good in the camera as he is. So when he's telling you, yo, you need to sit here because look, the white balance is messing up every time you move your head this way. You gotta listen to him when he's saying that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Same way if he say, yo, look, nah, that guess we gotta talk to him like this. I'm telling you, I know, son. Right? You gotta accept that and then have that synergy.
So how does one tell the difference between constructive criticism and a camouflaged hate?
Because many a truth said in jest, right? Every joke is true. So it depends on how many times, what joke how's somebody joking with you?
I mean,
I'm serious.
No, I understand, but you know, we joke.
I feel you, but what's the intent behind it?
How can you be able to tell the intent?
Here's the thing, right? Even if y'all joke, right? So dissing, right? Because I know a lot of people that's like from flashy cultures, like the Harlem culture. They say, "Oh, we just ranking on each other." You know what dissing comes from, right? Dissing comes from the dozens. The dozens is when they sold slaves by the dozen. That's why when you heard the older generation say, "Oh, your mama had one leg with a kickstand, right? Oh, she got one eye," and that's because they would on Black Friday they would take a dozen slaves. One slave got his foot cut off because he tried to run away.
Jesus.
One slave got one eye, right? One slave got his tongue cut out. You know what I'm saying? And they'll sell you a dozen. You get a discount. So
That's
the
crazy.
slave's way of rationalizing it and coping with it was by doing the dozens. So that's how they would joke on each other. The dozens evolved into dissing. And dissing became a part of Black culture.
Mm-hmm.
Where we see each other and we put each other down.
You just put me on some shit.
Nah,
and I'm
for
saying
real.
like the whole world, and you gotta look at the whole world, whole society puts you down. That's why when I was talking about the brother on the train, he cracked a smile. Because I knew that he was in defense too. Because he had to be. This nigga right here is sitting here. This is how we be living. This is how we be thinking. That's why sometimes if I saw you, that jacket crazy, bro. Because I know nobody else told you that all day. And that's crazy. That we don't have a culture of empowering. And that's what I mean with masculinity. We've been tricked into thinking masculinity is, son, look at them. What are those? What are those? They're what I could afford. Are you crazy? Let's really think about that. Like when we put those labels on, those ain't our names. Those are brands. Like we got branded in slavery. Those are brands.
You talking right now. You talking right now, gangster.
You feel me?
So at what point does someone defend themselves from an aggressive delivery? Because because even a camouflage hate can be still something that you need to improve on, right? So if I camouflage hate because you're always late, maybe I am always late. You might not have the right intentions behind what you're saying, but that's something I still may need to improve on. Mm-hmm. So how do I address that and still be masculine?
Well, say the question again.
So let's say the camouflage hate is coming from you towards me and you always making fun of me for being late, but that's something I actually have to work on. Let's say that JB, he approaches me with the similar delivery, but his intentions are pure, yours is not. So if I
so there's the person that is going to pull you to the side and be like, yo, you doing that? Like, yo, son, you know you was late, right? Okay. And then there's a person that's going to wait till we all around each other and be like, yo, he always late. He always late.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
There's different styles of doing it. Somebody that really mess with you, he don't even want to blow you up to everybody else. It's kind of just like, yo, man, you doing it again, bro. You all right? Like, yo, you got to work on your time management, right? But
Mm.
there's some people that kind of want to point out your flaws to big themselves up.
Got you. And what if somebody rebuttals that with, well, you always do such and such, when they, because you know how some people get called out and they're like, well, what about when you did this or when you did that? What do you do?
But I mean, that seems like tit for tat, right?
Yeah.
That
So
seems
would you
like
consider that feminine as well?
You know, to me, that's like tit for tat.
Okay. So
To me,
neutral.
that's like tit for tat. You know, I just think that not taking accountability, not being willing to die for your mother, your daughter, your wife, your children. You know, not being responsible. I think those things are not masculine, right? I don't think that the tone of someone's voice is any indication of their masculinity.
Mm.
I think that not taking care of yourself physically is feminine because and I don't like to offend people, but honestly, I feel like that's feminine because you do a disservice to your children
You're not a fan of
and
nobody.
your
Speaking facts.
family. Like when I think of
Yes, sir.
myself, like I'm a father, right? I'm a husband, right? And I'm almost 50, right?
Mm.
But for me to not be physically fit, for me to not be strong, and for me to not be willing to protect is a disrespect to my wife and my kids and my mother. It's a disrespect to everybody around me. So I think part of being a man is being a protector. And you got to get that in your head, especially as black men. That's why our women are in the space that they're in. You know, a lot of people talking about black men, black women, but you know, black women also have PTSD from not being protected, from being raped. So you know, we have the trauma of being locked up, and also black men have the trauma of being raped because black men were raped in slavery, right? So our women, they stressed. So they need to feel secure. They need to feel a certain level of protection. That's just what it is, right? And then our
Mhm.
mothers need to feel a certain level of protection. Like I'm in the park the other day, yesterday. There's a sister. She looks like she's not my age, but she could be like my aunt's age. But she's an attractive lady.
Mhm.
I made sure to wave at her and say, "Hey, how you doing?" And she was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And then when she was jogging, when she got close and she looked up, I clapped just to let her know that she's being encouraged, but also to kind of give her the vibe like, "Yo, you safe. You like an auntie out here. We got your back."
Mhm.
Right? Because so often what they see in society is when they get around one of us, they're not protected. I think it's feminine to holler at a chick in the street, and if she don't holler back, to call her a name
That's crazy work.
or want to fight her
That's
or
crazy
hit
work.
her. I
Mhm.
think that's female behavior.
Mhm.
I think you should be a gentleman and just
Keep it pushing.
enjoy your day, sis. Because that could be your mother, that could be your girl, that could be
Mhm.
your sister, that could be your daughter. So many reasons why she ain't say hi, and she doesn't have to. I mean, what I experienced is, when I don't say nothing, most times by the second or third time, you get them anyway, just by being friendly and nice. You know,
Mm.
I would even run up to a chick and be like, "Yo, that wasn't me. That said that. That wasn't me. I don't condone that. That was corny." Yeah, there's nothing corny about being good to black women.
Facts.
Gangster.
We were convinced that somebody tricked us into making us think that that was corny, and now look where our sisters are at.
Literally. Everything productive is corny in our
Yep.
community. It's sad.
It really is. So you mentioned how black women don't feel protected. Do you think that's more so because there's not enough black men who are willing to protect, or they're not choosing the black men who are willing to protect them?
I think it's 50-50. And I think it's a big part of it is the culture. A lot of the music, a lot of the culture, and the women that we see in the media that reflect black culture.
Mm-hmm.
That's a small group. That's a small population. Like the chicks that got like the fake breasts and the love and hip hop chicks. That's a small group of people.
Mm-hmm.
All black women are not like that. And so I think that the right black women aren't reflected in pop culture, and the Lauren Hills are not being promoted, And then when we see those other chicks, we feel like they're not worthy of protection, and it kind of trickles over. The same way a lot of the stereotypes about black men kind of trickle over, right? So there's a stereotype about black men in a hoodie. So a lot of times if someone saw me, they're not going to automatically see an educator, an author, a father, right? They might think I'm a thug or something like that. They'll look at me like that. So the same thing happens with our sisters,
Mm.
where they get objectified as like sex objects and fetishized and treated a certain way in society. So we're both kind of battling that. And then the division of us battling each other creates a bigger problem. So we need to have equal empathy. And what I see sometimes is I see a lot of black women having a little more empathy than the brothers, right? Because we all know a dude that ain't about nothing that stayed on some girl's couch, right?
Mm.
So how many dudes you know that got a ain't shit chick staying on their couch?
Nah, you
Not
gotta
too many.
go.
It's a little,
Mhm.
right? So that's why they don't feel protected. It's part of it.
Got you. JB,
So, talk to me.
if you had a time machine and you could be part of any black moment in history, what would it be?
Oh shit! I didn't think I was gonna get that one. Mm, I would have made sure Nat Turner succeeded his rebellion.
As in making sure
I'd have been there, and I'd have made sure that they got to the right infantry that actually had the weapons, so they could take care of business.
That's interesting.
You know what? I'm this guy because he's showing up. Yo, I
thought he was gonna say I want to make sure Pac made it.
All right, I
So
got
Pac
you.
get
I
in the
got
driver's
you.
seat.
Know how I did. Know how I did. Know how I did. Don't hold me to this, but I'd have killed Yaku.
Yakub,
Yep.
the creator of
I
the
would
white
have
gene.
chill. Don't even say nothing. I would have
Get that
killed
out.
Yaku
They don't know, they don't know. They don't
before
know,
he
they
got
don't
his
know.
work done.
If
I
they don't
would
know,
just
they don't
slit
know.
his throat. Sing. Got rid
They
of
don't
him.
know, they don't know.
Offed him. I'd have fixed everything. Little bit of statue of me. Little bit of statue of me in every pyramid.
Oh
like
my god!
Brother Inf.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
That's funny.
Damn.
Yeah, that's
And
the
then
people
go
don't
part.
back
know
in
about
time with
that.
the sniper rifle, you could really just hit him like
Yeah.
Wait, a sniper rifle? That's a tranquilizer dart.
off the camel.
Yeah. Damn. A lot of people don't know about that. A lot of people don't know.
me either.
You're cool.
I was just educated just now. Well then, I think that's a wonderful way to end this podcast.
That's tough.
Appreciate you so much for coming on,
Dearly,
man.
dearly,
Thank you.
dearly.
You taught me a lot. Appreciate it.
Yeah, can I tell him where to get my books?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
So-
information.
Oh yeah. So I have a bookstore on Amazon, but Amazon.com/author/inf, inftheauthor.com, necessaryevilfilm.com, or if you go on Instagram at inftheauthor, that's INFTHEAUTHOR. So I got like about 4 books out. I got Necessary Evil 1, Necessary Evil Volume 2. I also have a book From the Block to the Blockchain that is only 33 pages, and it's the ins and outs of crypto and the technology. And it's written the same way we had this conversation. It's written the same way in layman's terms, really easy to understand. My 13-year-old son was able to read it. It's 33 pages, and it's just $6. So it's just for the community. I'm not making money off of it. It's just so I can have the information. $6 to print it, $3 for the digital download. And it's called From the Block to the Blockchain, right?
It's fine.
And I also have the children's book with my son, right? Then I have another book called Bestiary of Blood. Bestiary of Blood, you ever read Aesop's Fables? So you know, like Warner Brothers comic, how they use the animals to tell human stories.
Right.
That came from a African storyteller named
Okay.
Aesop. So this is like the adult version. So there's like horror stories and sci-fi stories, but it's all with animals. So mine's is about a wolf pack, and it's in the hood, right?
Okay.
So you know how that go. Bestiary of Blood, and yeah, that's dope. Yeah, so I have all those projects out. And when you go on my store, you could get a copy.
You got anything coming up? Any events coming up next couple of months?
We should have some film screenings coming up,
Okay.
but I don't know the exact date. As soon as I know, I'll let y'all know, and y'all definitely will have a ticket.
I know you mentioned you're speaking somewhere during
And
autism.
I'm speaking in April.
Okay. Send me the invite. Got to be there.
Yeah, I'm speaking in April with my son about his book. Will be at the public library.
Got you.
You got any books on you today? Got any volume 1?
I'll see if I have something in the car. I'm parked downstairs.
Okay.
See if I have something in the car.
All right, bro.
All right then.
Take us home, Glass. Wrap it up.
Appreciate it. That has been another episode of Important Miscellaneous Talks. Thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I'm gonna watch this one back. I learned a lot.
We'll see you guys next time. We'll see y'all April 5th. We got a funeral to attend. That's a wrap.
Oh man. Who's your favorite superhero?
Spider-Man. You?